Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. How y'all doing? Go ahead and share this on out. I'm about to make it public. Keep my distance. I just want to play my cards right. Y'all got about a minute and 15 seconds to come on in. You be gone, but maybe it's alright. It's 2:22:22. It's the right moment, but baby. Hey. Anyhow. Come on in. Say hello. Say hi. How you doing? If this is your first time even tuning in, put a 1 in the comment. Okay, y'all have 45 seconds. Hope you all had a terrific Tuesday, honestly. After just one day, it's special. Or you made it terrific. There is something in you. Even if it started off a little bad, you always have the power to change your day, right? It's alright. I can tell you. All right. It's the right moment, baby. All right, it is time to get started, y'all. Thank you so much for joining the Girl You Better podcast. And if this is the first time that you are seeing this face right here, my name is Coach Ronnie B. I am the relationship and resiliency coach. And what that means is that I help people discover tools that they can use for their mind, body, and spirit so that they show up as their highest self every single day of their life, no matter what life brings to them. And so today we are on day 22 of the Loving Him from A to Z series, a book that I wrote, volume 1 and volume 2. Let me switch this. Switch this around. Volume 1 and volume 2. And so we are on volume 2 and we are almost done because there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So on the 27th, as I said, I would love to have a conversation with men that would love to reflect and give me feedback and just come on here and just talk about some of the topics that I have talked about in this book. And hey Tina, how are you doing? So nice to see you. But yes, so if you would, so on the 28th, that's on the 27th, I would like to have men come on the show. But on the 28th, I would like to end it out with women. Women, come on, ladies, hit me. Let me know if you would like to come on the show, and we'll just discuss a couple of topics. We'll discuss maybe what you're struggling with, what you have overcome, what you are aspiring to do in your marriage. So anyway, since we are on day 22, we are on day V, which is the Virtuous and Visionary chapter. Yes, we're gonna get into it. If you were here on last night where we talked about unique and being unguarded, that was a mouthful. That's a whole workshop. That's a whole that's a whole nother topic. So if you missed last night's show, go ahead and go to my page and view day 21. But anyway, of course, I always, and thank you so much for saying hello and for speaking. I appreciate you. I always begin with a quote at the beginning of each chapter. So if this is your first time joining, this is how it works. And I read just a little bit of the chapter, give a little commentary. I have questions, a reflection, and then we always end with a prayer, okay? Because that's how this book was designed. But anyway, okay, and if you're interested in purchasing the book, it's in the description. The links are in the description. But the chapter, the quote begins with, wisdom is the foundational principle for everything in life. So we must be wise when speaking to others, young and old, male or female. Okay. So anyway, I open up this chapter to not only address the married woman, but the single woman too. In our culture, there are many cliches that exist about what it is to be a virtuous woman, like quote unquote, this virtuous woman. I believe this term is overused and misinterpreted, not fully understanding virtuosity in, let's just say, the biblical sense, has us creating like these pseudo examples, but only to our own demise, right? So in most predominantly, let's just say we're just talking church, like black congregations or whatever, like, these Mother's Day themes always have, oh, the virtuous woman, Proverbs 31, la la la. And the thing is, okay, so I'm going to read to you Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. Or if you want to go back and actually refer to this to yourself, because that is a whole lot of verses. But anyway, I'll just read quickly. So a wife of noble character who can find, she is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. She plants a vineyard. Yes, she's a businesswoman. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. So she's working. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. So she's generous. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants and sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all of her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. Okay, so I included that in my book purposely. But just by reading these verses, I don't believe that it is understood in its entirety what a virtuous woman is, because some of what is discussed, dated practices and stuff, like it's foreign, like it's old, right? But now the timeless principles, they are there, they're embedded. But the majority of today's women aren't trying to be virtuous to the degree that these verses explain, and nothing's wrong with that approach, but just know it is to your benefit. So verse 10, so I broke down some of the verses. Verse 10 begins with speaking about a noble character. Noble, y'all. Listen up, sis. Listen up, queen. Noble means having or showing fine personal qualities or high moral principles and ideals. This, unfortunately, is becoming a rare quality, and men are taking advantage of women who lack these characteristics, knowing good and well they have absolutely no intention of marrying this woman that they're messing around with, but will waste her time and lead her on into thinking someday the status will change. Says queen, wake up. They're not looking for the freak of the week. They're not looking for how good you can twist it up in a pretzel. Okay? Because as good as you can twist it, sister down the street, she can twist it better in a pretzel. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. The thing is, I hope that this is not your current situation. But as the old saying goes, why buy the milk when you can get it for free? Well, if you are a girlfriend playing the wife role, guess what? He gonna take it. Why wouldn't he take it? Unless his character would say, no, I ain't gonna even do her like that, even though I know I can take advantage of her. But I'm talking to single women here with this. But read these words slowly. There is no guarantee that he will marry you because you audition well. And I know that hurts. I know that hurts when I said it. When I wrote it, I knew it would hurt. I knew I would step on some toes when I said that. But this topic alone can write a book itself. But I feel for all my sisters out there who are walking on eggshells to do everything perfectly, look your best, show that boyfriend that you got potential and God is back. If this is you, ask yourself this one question. Are you saving anything for him if he becomes your husband? Something more, something greater, something so meaningful. He will forever praise you as the husband, and children do for this virtuous woman, Proverbs 31. Because I'm gonna tell you this, like I talked about last night about the shiny thing, or about the unwrapped shirt. Okay, so when he goes shopping, for a shirt, sometimes you got to open up that package, you got to see if the collar's right, whatever, wherever where he shops, or them pair of socks, how does it feel, whatever. He opens up the package, but guess what, he gonna put that back on the shelf, he gonna grab the one that's unopened. You know why? Because he wants something that is not accessible to everybody else. And if you're doing all this and that for him, in his head, sometimes he questions, well, shoot, is she like this with everybody? What makes me special? I'm just keeping it real, because I talked to men when I wrote this book. I talked to men and they told me this. So this is not nothing that I'm making up. This is not nothing that I'm coming to you with. That's just just off rip. No, this comes from the mouth of men. And guess what? So here's a quality assurance guide by which you can quickly assess yourself. Ladies, this is the first quality check, which is nobility. He can't waste your time if A, he knows you won't be his side chick. B, he can't just have sex with you anytime and any place because you value the gift between your thighs. And C, the final personal qualities you possess scream to him things like respect, value, chastity, being special. In verse 12, bringing a man good and not harm is something I believe most men look for in a potential wife, because that says to him, you are marked as a designated safe place. They want to know that you're a safe place. Even when they're married to you, they still want to know that they are being kept in the midst of a safe place. As soon as they feel that they are not safe, oh my gosh, they are running for the hills. They feel like they got to take cover. They close up on you. And you wonder why, like, hey, why? I feel this distance. I feel this distance between him, like me and him. Like, what's going on? You can feel this in marriage. You can feel it in a relationship. You can feel it in both situations, because he don't feel safe. In your bosom, he can rest at his head just as much as a child does with its mother, when he knows that he is safe with you. He's safe with what he tells you. He's safe with what he shares with you. He's safe with what he invests. It's kept safe. All right. So anyway, this chapter. I don't even have the time to break this all down. Okay. Verse 16 real quick, and then I think I'm gonna have to end there. Y'all gonna have to get this book and just find out what else is all of this, because this chapter truly is a mouthful. But I will talk about being a visionary, because that's part of this chapter too. I'll touch on that real quick, but I don't want to hold y'all long. Okay. Facebook user, I don't know your name. You say hello, coach. Well, hello, Facebook user. Whoever you are, popping in without a name. Glad to have you. Verse 16 speaks of a virtuous woman who is a smart investor, thinking about the future harvest, making wise decisions for your family with whatever you contribute financially to the household must be beneficial for all, just not for you. It's LaKendra. Oh, I can't see. Oh, hey, Master Coach. Okay, you don't have a name. You're invisible. But anyway, You have to be a good steward over what God has given you, ladies. I know we like to shop till we drop and get new shiny things, but let's make sure we pour back into ourselves and not just adorn the outside of ourselves with the clothing, with the jewelry, with the new wigs. Whether it's investing in our education, our health, our wellness, investing, look, in a coach. Y'all might need a coach. Anyway, even our time to relax and rejuvenate. Like verse 25 says, that a virtuous woman is clothed in strength and dignity, and that can't be bought off any shelf. Okay. Anyway, I see a lot of women claim that they are strong, but in what way are you strong? Strong because what? You're a single mother and you raising kids by yourself. Strong because you pay your own bills. Strong because you own your own home, car, and you're well educated. Strong because what? You have a no nonsense attitude, so that makes you strong. Anyway, I don't think that biblically speaking that the Bible meant that this as a strength and dignity, because a lot of women fall prey to things that has a hold on them so tight. It bears their weakness, their vulnerability, their neediness, and their desperateness. That takes their virtuosity and hides it on a deserted island far, far away. So you can claim you strong all day, but truly and honestly, what are the remnants of your life showing? Is it showing vulnerability? Is it showing weakness in certain areas? Is it showing neediness? Is it showing desperateness? Y'all better ask somebody. I'm trying to be so real. I can't afford to sugarcoat and make stuff cute. Because your longevity in your relationships, in your marriage, and not only that, you as a mentally healthy woman, it depends on some of this stuff that I'm talking about. So again, I get very passionate when I'm talking about this subject. I'm not hollering at y'all, but but I get passionate about it, right? Okay, this is it. Pour back into ourselves. Yes, keep it playing, coach. This is so good. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, I need somebody here to do the comments for me. Anyway, I believe that this strength can be interpreted as the strength this virtuous woman draws from God to endure, outlast, and to persevere. Let me say that again for somebody in the back. I believe that this strength can be interpreted as the strength this virtuous woman draws from God to endure, to outlast, and to persevere. So what does that mean? Yes, I'm leading with love right now. Also, your dignity is taken away in some cases because you are willing to trade your virtuous self for an undignified self. But you have to see yourself as totally priceless and worthy as a woman. So, how do you show up as a woman, maybe even as a single woman, and you've been saying, I'm trying to attract a relationship, a good one. I'm trying to attract a marriage that is going to be all of what I needed to be and deserve. Well, again, I'm going to say, your worthiness is in what you say, it's in what you think, it's in how you show up, it's in what you do, it's in how you interact with others, how you treat others. And that's it. That's business and personal. I'm going to include both. Now, okay, so verse 26 explains that a virtuous woman speaks wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Have you ever ill-advised someone or someone ill-advised you to do something that cost you big or it made you even look foolish? Oh, do y'all remember at least one time that somebody that you ill-advised someone or someone ill-advised you to do something that it cost you big, personally or in your business? It cost, like, it really did cost you. and it made you look foolish. So as virtuous women speaking one to another, remember to have your sister's best interest at heart. Even if she is hurting or confused, never advise her to seek revenge or do something that might make matters worse. Wisdom is the foundational principle for everything in life, y'all. Wisdom. That was one of the things that I prayed for. And sorry, my voice is shaking. I'm dealing with allergies, but I'm showing up. Anyway, wisdom was one of the things that at the beginning of 2022, give me a double, triple dose of wisdom this year that I can walk with, guide me with. So because with wisdom, then that means I'm making good, solid decisions. Okay? But anyway, wisdom is the foundational principle for everything in life. So we must be wise when speaking to others, young, old, male, or female. Rather, view it as your responsibility to utter truth and wise instruction. That's why, okay, let's see. We attract every secret we hold against ourselves. You can't hide from the universe. Absolutely. Don't entertain the foolery. Yes, Tina. Now let's discuss what being a visionary, because this chapter also includes about being a visionary. It looks like what this looks like in a marriage as a wife. So the day you walk down that aisle in your beautiful gown or whatever you had on, or stood before a judge in a courtroom, or trotted down the path of a mystical garden towards your husband to be, whatever the scenery was that day, okay? You grabbed the reins to become a visionary at that very point. The reason why I say this is because the way life will be from that day forward is ultimately it's in your hands as well. You have the paintbrush to start making strokes on this empty canvas, on this blank canvas that you have been given. You can be a part of something bigger even than yourself, and make decisions of how you want life to look like. What does your life include with your husband? What does it look like day in and day out? What goals do you want to or need to accomplish together? What kind of support will you need, or will he need? Will you start a family? I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not. And if that's okay, that's between you and your uterus. That's your business. But if you already have a family and are bringing them together, how will you blend it? Because I had to do that. I had to figure that out, how to blend a family. And I'll say this: when challenges come, and they will, what is your plan of action to handle it? What does communication look like between you two? How often will you forgive him for his trespasses? Visionary. What does it look like? Okay? As much as you rely on him to carry the vision, he also relies on you. Envision that you both are back to back and arms cuffed. Okay? So you're back to back and your arms cuffed. No matter if you lean back on him, he has to brace himself and hold a strong stance to support your weight, and vice versa, right? So if you walk one direction, he has to follow. And if you walk in a different direction, he has to follow, because y'all back to back and your hands are cuffed, right? So the point of visualizing this scenario is this: you have to be in sync step by step in order to get things done. If you try to separate the cuffed arms, you will feel resistance and pain even until you ultimately disconnect and you separate. This is the problem strong-willed spouses have in the marriage. They want to go one way. They want to go one way, and that's it. And the other wants to stand still or walk in a different direction, dragging the other one in frustration. But I pray that you both can carry the vision together and get to the next destination of life together. Anyway, I'm going to end this chapter with the questions that I have. and then the prayer, and then we're gonna end because tomorrow is day 23, y'all. We are almost done with this second book, with this volume. Anyway, okay, so questions that I ask you for reflections in this. Do you share a common vision with your husband? If so, what is that vision? If not, do you think it is necessary to have one together or individually? Number 2, what steps have you taken to execute or build the vision? Do you need assistance or perhaps a mentor to show you both how to walk it out? Number 3, do you embrace the idea of being vulnerable or do you detest it? Number 4, what are your personal views of vulnerability and how does it or does not make room in your life? Number 6, can you set a deadline and a game plan to achieve the vision, or what methods are in place currently? And number 7, are you a virtuous woman? And if so, what is evident in your life that proves this truth, that you are a virtuous woman? If not, can you think of a few things about yourself that could be refined or addressed that will help you become a virtuous woman? All right. I'm going to go ahead and say this prayer, and then I'm going to end this live for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Dear Heavenly Father, you have given me the absolute best role on earth and title of wife. I thank you for giving me the desires of my heart. The husband you have given me is blessed because his better half is a virtuous woman, vulnerable woman, and I own it. I rebuke anyone that speaks against the ideal to thrive in virtuosity. I'm going to say that again because somebody needs to hear this. Okay. I rebuke anyone that speaks against the ideal to thrive in virtuosity, because you can. My husband loves me because I can rely on him. I trust him with my life, the most precious thing that you have given me. I relinquish my right to be right all the time. The vision is bigger than myself and him because it is about our marriage fulfilling something purposeful. I rejoice in the fact that I don't have to figure out everything alone. Lord, I ask you, show me and remind me each day what is truly is to be virtuous in the way only you intended. I denounce all hypocrisies, fallacies, and anything else that speaks against vulnerability being a sign of weakness, because it is not. It is strength. And I ask that you help me show other women the truth in living this way. In your mighty and precious name, God. Amen and amen. All right. We are done, y'all, with chapter V. Tomorrow, I'm going to hit y'all day 23. Let me go to my table of contents. We're going to be talking about being worthwhile. Being worthwhile. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you're interested in purchasing this book, it is on Amazon. The description is in the link. And hopefully, once this ends, because I decided, like I said, I decided to do this for Love Month for February. But you know, I'm feeling like later on, there will be some type of conference. There will be some type of something that will need to be held, because there is so much information in this book that is so helpful. And what I share, and I'll share this with y'all. Y'all, when I wrote this book, there were certain things that I did not experience. When I wrote this back in 2019, yeah, 2019, I think copyright say 2019. Yeah, copyright in 2019. But since that time, I've experienced things in chapters of this book. Not only did it manifest, but there were certain tools in here that I realized, even as I reread this, I was like, man, we had these conversations. Man, we talked about this. Man, I said this. Man, he said that. So I'm telling you, this was truly a thing that I think the Holy Spirit gave me to give to the people. But not only that, to even grow myself. to even keep growing myself. Okay. But anyway, good night, Facebook, good night, LinkedIn, good night, Instagram, and good night, YouTube. Please share this out because if it didn't help you, you never know, it could help somebody else. And sharing is caring, right? All right. So good night. Bye.